Okay, so I'm back to Truscott, the general, very effective general, not as well known as a lot of other American generals like Patton and Eisenhower. So when we looked at Wikipedia, we saw, or I saw, that there's a biography of him from 2010. You want the most recent material that you can find, especially when it comes to secondary literature. So there's a book called Dog-Faced Soldier that was out in 2010, and it's available online. Now, as I'm sure many of you know, one of the things that we can get when we look at secondary sources is secondary sources can lead us to other sources. So, one of the beautiful things about the Dog-Faced Soldier book, the book about Truscott, it's online, and I've opened up the book, and let's see here. I wonder if I can. Okay, so let's see here. Um, let's see here. Okay, so I've opened up the book and I've already downloaded. This is what I've downloaded from the book, and it's the citation chapter of the book, which comes at the end of the book. And look at how beautiful this is. So this is towards the end of the book. You can see it's page 343. This I love online books for this. Look, it's got all the information that the biography has used. So you have the files for Truscott. You've got interviews. You also have published sources as well that talk about Truscott and as well as other aspects of World War II. You've got unpublished sources for Truscott. Now, if you were doing a paper on Truscott, this would be much more than I would expect. I wouldn't expect you to be able to go and look at all this material, even if it wasn't COVID. Yeah, even if it wasn't the time of COVID, I know very, very few students at UTSA can take off time and go to visit archives, especially undergrad students. We actually, grad students sometimes do that. But the point that I'm trying to make here is that the beautiful thing about online books is that uh, you can look at the bibliography of the online books and you can look at the citation of the online books, and they really help take you to other sources. So secondary sources are terrific because not only do they give you information on your source or on your topic, I should say, but they also lead you to other sources. Okay, so that's why we do citation. Citations are designed to create a paper trail for students. So they can find what the historian has said, and maybe they can they can go back and look at what the historian has looked at. And often you can find something that a historian didn't use originally. So this is the beautiful thing about uh, a secondary source. Secondary sources take you to other sources. So let me go back into Library Quick Search, available online. Here's the book. And let me see here. So this is, uh, here's the bibliography. That's what I just talked about right here. The bibliography of all the material the historian used to write the book. But the other thing that you have are the notes, and the notes are just another word for citation. And so let's go ahead and download those notes. So I've downloaded the notes. And here's the other thing. So these are the notes, the citation for each chapter. And once again, if you're looking for a certain aspect of Truscott's life, you can look at these notes, the citation, and these notes will take you to a specific site, maybe something, a newspaper account. So secondary sources are fantastic, not only because they tell you about a topic, but because they also should be have citations which lead you to material on that topic as well. Okay. And again, I'm not expecting you to be able to go and do research outside of San Antonio. I'm hoping you can do most of your research from your desk, actually, because of our research tools are so strong. Or if necessary, you can order a book from Interlibrary Loan. But I just want to point out again that secondary sources take you to primary sources. So let me just go over that paper trail or that again. So I'm interested in Lucian Truscott, not that well-known general during World War II. I went to Wikipedia. I found a book called Dog-Faced Soldier from 2010, which is a biography of him. It turns out that UTSA has that book, which is great. Not only does UTSA have that book, the book is online. So what I did was I went online and I downloaded the bibliography. So I have a sense of what the sources are that this historian used to write this biography of Truscott. Now, I'm not going to use everything by, I'll use very only a very tiny percentage of what this historian, what's his name, that wrote the book, uh, Hefner. I'm only going to use a very small percentage of what Hefner used, but at least I know what's out there. And then the second thing I downloaded was the footnotes or the citation, the notes to this book. And what I want you to realize that by looking at citation, by looking at endnotes or footnotes from secondary sources, in this case, the book Dog Faced Soldier, um, it can take you to sources. And just because someone has used a secondary or primary source doesn't mean that you can't go take a look at it as well. Okay.